When the Twitter mob wants to cancel somebody, they're basically saying that a person has done something harmful. This comes from a place of people wanting a celebrity's fan base to know about the harmful things that they've done, and ultimately canceling is done for them to face consequences for their actions. That being said, sometimes this gets blown out of proportion, but other times it's a much needed cultural shift. Either way, we'll leave that for you to decide as we count down today's list. Welcome to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. I'm your host Johnny Rogers, and before we kick this video off, let us know down below which YouTuber you love the most and tell us why. Also, if you don't want to miss another daily video from us, make sure you tap that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way you never miss a single video. Plus, make sure you stay all the way until the end of this video because I'll be reading out some of your comments as well. Now, without any further delay, let's get right into today's list of the top 10 celebrities canceled in 2020. In at number 10, Lana Del Rey. The beginning of the end for Lana Del Rey started with a letter that was a question for the culture. At the start of the letter she posted, Lana said, "Now that Doja Cat, Ariana, Camila, Cardi B, Kalani, and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce have had #1 songs about being sexy, wearing no clothes, cheating, etc., can I please go back to singing about being embodied, feeling beautiful by being in love, even if the relationship is not perfect, or dancing for money, or whatever I want, without being crucified or saying that I'm glamorizing abuse." This letter came after she was criticized for being anti-feminist and glamorizing abuse in her most recent album. However, this letter led to her being cancelled by the general public on Twitter because the majority of the artists that she mentioned were of color, which is why we saw the very punny hashtag, if you will, of Lana Del Racist starting to trend on Twitter. She did clarify later on that post was not meant to be racist and that she loves all of those artists, but the haters just weren't having any of it. In at number 9, Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star's cosmetics company has brought in hundreds of millions of dollars, and according to Forbes, he is now one of the most powerful figures in the industry. Star first rose to fame when his makeup vlogs on YouTube became very popular. From there, he went on to launch his own cosmetics line, but before that though, he was a modestly successful MySpace musician for a brief period of time. However, now that he is intertwined with all of the drama happening in the beauty community, he's being bombarded with hatred. Rightfully so. Cameron Lester called him and Shane Dawson out for using him as their token black friend for videos, and from there it just got worse. Shane and Jeffree's troublesome friendship really came about when Shane wanted to document Star in what would be called the beautiful world of Jeffree Star. Following Cameron's video, Jeffree left him a voicemail and denied his allegations against him. The voicemail was leaked to drama channels and contributed to the negative wave that would soon erupt after Shane acknowledged the rumors about his role in the feud between Charles Westbrook and Star. In at number 8, Leah Michelle. Something that adds to the pressure of filming is who you have to work with. If you're working in a toxic environment day after day and the person bullying you is the star, this can have some nasty outcomes. Leah Michelle, for example, has been accused by several people for being an absolute nightmare to work with. Her co-star Matthew Morrison appeared via Zoom on Fubar Radio's Access All Areas and was asked about Leah's bullying, and he seemed to get visibly uncomfortable. He immediately attempted to downplay the accusations and shift topics by saying that bigger issues are going on in the world right now, which he's not wrong, but this is also something that we need to discuss. Here's a prime example of why the cast has had such a terrible time following the show. I think that whatever went on behind the scenes was kept very hidden from the public. They play these cheerful high school kids, but in reality they were all just adults with demons. Now, with Matt not acknowledging the accusations made against Leah and covering for her, it only discredits what these people have said about the former Glee star. In at number 7, Bryan Adams. It's safe to say that Bryan Adams will always remember the summer of COVID-19. I hope someone gets that joke. The 60-year-old Canadian singer stirred a ton of controversy after having to cancel a 3-night stint of shows in London. In the tweet he said, "Tonight was supposed to be the beginning of a tendency of gigs at the Royal Albert Hall, but thanks to some bat-eating, wet-mark, animal-selling, virus-making greedy bastards, the whole world is now on hold." Okay. Now, regardless of where the coronavirus came from, it's tweets like this that are causing a violent energy, if you will, towards Asian Americans. Oddly enough, Adams got more annoying when he tried to spin this tweet into an advocacy for a vegan diet. This really upset a lot of people, and rightfully so, and one user even commented, "Did not have Bryan Adams tweets racist bullshit as a 2020 moment, but here it is, right before our very eyes." In at number 6, Vanessa Hudgens. Vanessa Hudgens has had some major issues with her fans after departing from her once innocent Disney image. Her fans loved her in High School Musical, but when she started doing films like Spring Breakers, it seemed like she was trying too hard to break that image. When the lockdown started happening, she got herself into even more trouble while doing some Instagram live streams with her fans. Her fans were asking how she felt about the quarantine, and Hudgens said,
"Even if everybody gets it, like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable?"
At that point in time, no one really had any idea when these lockdowns would be lifted. You could clearly tell that she was annoyed by the inconvenience of needing to lock down to protect the sick and vulnerable. It's like, oh, sorry, Vanessa. But this kind of selfish behavior was frowned upon by many, believe it or not, including whatever fans that she had left. She did try to salvage her career by tweeting this reply that said, "Hey guys, I'm so sorry for the way I have offended anyone and everyone who has seen the clip from my Instagram live yesterday. I realize my words were insensitive and not at all appropriate for the situation our country and the world are in right now. This has been a huge wake-up call about the significance my words have, now more than ever. I'm sending safe wishes to everyone to stay safe and healthy during this crazy time." No mention of it's like inevitable that everyone will die. That's my impression of Vanessa Hudgens drunk on her Instagram live feed. In number 5, Jenna Marbles. Jenna has been on YouTube for a very long time, and after multiple videos of hers blew up, she really began garnering millions of subscribers. 20 million to be more precise. Although in a video titled "A Message," Jenna addressed the controversy of her older content. She apologized for the video that she made impersonating Nicki Minaj in 2011, where she donned blackface, and went on to say,
"My intention to do blackface. I do want to tell you how unbelievably sorry I am if I ever offended you by posting this video."
In response to the outcry on the internet to have her canceled, Jenna archived the old videos and announced that she would be stepping away from the channel. She said that she doesn't know if it's forever, but she wants to make sure that the things she puts out into the world aren't hurting anyone. In at number 4, Shane Dawson. After what happened to George Floyd, America went into civil unrest and the people demanded answers from law enforcement. Along with that, however, comes the necessary task of curating our culture to get rid of the problematic people who only add fuel to that fire. Get rid of sounds awful, but what I mean is hold them responsible so that we can admit our mistakes and move forward as a society. The weirdest part about Shane Dawson doing blackface is that he's done it on more than one occasion, and done so in a time where we thought that people would be more tolerant. Even weirder is that when he apologized for taking his sketches too far with blackface, a bunch of his white fans were like, "Oh, we forgive you." Sorry to say this, but that apology wasn't meant for you. It's meant for the people that he was mocking, and I don't think letting this one slide is a wise idea. There have been so many red flags with Shane Dawson, but this one should have been the final straw. However, it wasn't, so he continued on as if nothing happened. In at number 3, Jimmy Fallon. Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon apologized for doing an impersonation of fellow comic Chris Rock while in blackface during a 2000 episode of Saturday Night Live. Discussions of Jimmy's 20-year-old skit surfaced after a video of it was posted online. According to entertainment trade media outlet Variety, it was first posted on Twitter by a user named Chef Boy O'Dear, if you believe that's his name. Great name. And he showed Fallon as Chris Rock appearing on a talk show. When the clip began to go viral, many people called for Fallon to be fired from The Tonight Show altogether, although instead he just issued a lengthy apology. Fallon tweeted, "In 2000, while on SNL, I made a terrible decision to do an impersonation of Chris Rock while in blackface. There is no excuse for this. I am very sorry for making this unquestionably offensive decision, and thank you all for holding me accountable." In at number 2, Ellen DeGeneres. When Kevin Porter tweeted out, "Right now we all need a little kindness," you know, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive. Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean, and I'll match everyone with $2 to LA Food Bank. And the response was overwhelming. However, for this point, let's just focus in on the ones about the bizarre rules for her staff, because that alone was enough to get her canceled. Benjamin Simon said, "A, she has a sensitive nose, so everyone must chew gum from a bowl outside of her office before talking to her, and if she thinks you smell that day, you have to go home and shower." You have to go home and shower. Who does that? What a weird power move. You smell, so stop doing work for me, go home, shower, and then come back and stay late. Chelsea Babcock said, "When I was working on At Midnight, our stage manager told us to never work for Ellen. He told us she has signs up in her office that say, 'Do not look the host in the eye.'" I'm sorry, but that's far from normal. Don't look her in the eye? What bizarre rules to have. How is she still tweeting, you know? Is she tweeting? I don't know. I feel like she's hiding in a cave somewhere at this point. Last but certainly not least, our number 1 spot, Kylie Jenner. Following the release of Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's very explicit new track, fans were taken by surprise with a cameo by Kylie Jenner. Many were waiting for her to start singing or something, but other people were fuming with anger for many other reasons. Beyond fears of Kylie busting out a verse on the track, many were calling her a culture vulture. Several memes were throwing shade at the appearance of Kylie and suggested that it was just another example of a white woman pulling the focus away from a black collaboration. That being said, you can't blame Cardi B for wanting to absolutely blow this song up with publicity, and she did just that. Having this many stars in your video is bound to have it shared a bunch of times, especially if there is even an ounce of controversy in any one of them. So far, a petition on change.org to cancel Kylie and have her removed from the song is at 67,000 signatures. A lot of mad people. Big mad. He mad, they mad. With that, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled Top 10 Celebrities Who Disappeared from Hollywood. Beezer says, Rick Moranis is an icon to me. I respect the man for stepping away from Hollywood to focus on his sons. Yeah, Rick is a class act for that one. I mean, the stay-at-home dads don't get nearly enough appreciation. That dude was killing it in the movie industry, and he's like, I'm gonna focus on my children. Good move. Bree Moore says, I like how fast you speak. Usually watch vids on 1.5 speed because I cannot stand slow talk, so thanks for your quick words. You're very welcome, Bree. I'm happy to finally find someone in the comment section that actually enjoys when I talk fast. That does not happen. Tapsweet Top 10 says, Angus quitting the show was crazy. Interesting watching someone grow out of a role. Yeah, that was devastating. I mean, he was so great on that show, but hey, that's life. Andrea Smith says, hey, he talks just fast enough. Took me like 3 times to read this comment. It's good to know that I'm talking just fast enough. Not too much, not too little. By the way, if I'm talking too fast, there's a little icon in the corner and you can just slow me down. You don't have to waste energy even typing. Colin Featherson says, Johnny, how do you not hyperventilate? Oh, that's why I thank the editors at the end of every video, because they just cut out all the hyperventilating and me messing up constantly. Much love to them. And that has been the Top 10 Celebrities Canceled in 2020. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editors for all their hard work. If you enjoyed this video, please show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on today's list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up. From Top 10 Beyond the Screen, my name is Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy. Plus, before I get started, I must warn you that some of these celebrities pass. Oh, whoa, different. This is what happens when you copy and paste intros. This really upsetted, that's not a word. Getting rid of sounds awful, I get that, but what I mean is hold them responsible so that we can admit our mistakes and move forward Alright, let's do that sentence again.